and welcome to this edition of The Buzz. Everything that's happening at Abington High School regarding our athletic programs here in Green Wave Nation. My name is Shawn Reilly, and this is yet another episode where we try to bring you some updates and information about everything that's going on in Green Wave sports. Later today and during the show, we're going to introduce you to a couple of some names you'll probably be very familiar with. Mary Klein, who is going to be playing some basketball for us this coming winter season. Also, Eddie Reilly, starting quarterback for the football team. And Tommy Fanara, kind of the everything guy. He was an all-star for our football team, and he's going to be leading our basketball team. So we're looking forward to talking with and getting to know those people a little bit more. Also very proud of how we finished up our fall sports season. We took the football team all the way to Gillette. Our golfers went into the state tournament, as did our volleyball team, as did our boys soccer team. A very successful fall for the Green Wave, and we're looking forward to a very eventful winter for the Green Wave. And at the end of this episode, we'll be bringing our athletic director, Pete Serino, onto the set to give us an update of what he expects to see this winter. A lot of good things happening at Abington High School. Stay tuned. We'll bring it all to you in just a second. All right, we are back with this edition of The Buzz. Here, everything going on here at Abington High School as far as what's going on in the athletic program. It's my pleasure to now bring onto the set and introduce to the Green Wave Nation a name you're probably familiar with, Mary Klein. Mary is a junior. She is currently now playing on our basketball team, and I know you also play lacrosse, right,
yes.
Mary? So tell us, lacrosse, fun year, good year. Basketball just started. Let me know, what are you looking forward to for this basketball season coming up?
Lacrosse season wasn't the best season we had, so I'm looking forward to just having like a good team that everyone's like excited to be there. Hopefully get some wins out of the season. It's been super fun, like good energy, good people.
Well, that's important. I mean,
yeah.
Just having fun with your team.
Definitely.
I mean, winning is always great, but if
yeah.
it's kind of a slog, then it's something you're not enjoying, then it's
right.
just not. You don't make good memories in that regard.
Yes.
You get some good coaches now, not now, but you do. Not that the prior coaches were bad, but you got a good coaching staff up there, the girls program. You got Coach Dan Norton is your head coach at the varsity level where
yes.
you play. And we got a couple of newer coaches at the sub-varsity level.
We do.
And you're familiar with one of them anyhow, very much.
I'm familiar with both. So Jenny Warden, I watched like her play in high school when my sister played too. So it's super exciting to like kind of like see her as like a coach now and just like continue like and share her skills and her knowledge because she's played like at a college level. So it's
right.
like kind of cool to relate to her. And then Coach Colley was my lacrosse coach, and she's like the nicest person ever. And I think the freshmen love her too. So it's very exciting.
It's an unbelievable list of names when you have Jenny
yes.
Warden, who's the
right.
all-time scoring leader for Abington High School basketball, and Coach Colley comes. The Colley family has made their mark here at Abington
yes.
High School. Not to mention the Klein family. As you mentioned, you had an older sister who played.
Yes.
You had a brother, I can't remember his name, Will Klein, who was very successful, but
yep.
you're ready to make a name for yourself.
I am.
And you're just a junior.
I'm a junior right now.
Tell me a little bit about some of your teammates. You said you're having fun. Who are the other kids you're out there having fun with?
I love the sophomores this year, like Rebecca Ricks, Aaliyah, Ella Williamson. She's new this year. She's super good, going to be like a good aspect on our team. Obviously our captains, 3 seniors, Sydney, Liv and Elizabeth, they're great. And then my like best friends like Sarah Flanagan, Mackenzie, Sarah. It's really fun. Good group to play with, super fun.
So is practice kind of an intense type of situation for you guys, or is it more a fun and kind of building on fundamentals?
Definitely at the beginning, it was kind of just like getting back into it, getting back into our shape. Now it's kind of starting to be a little bit more structured. We're trying to like stay in game mode throughout the week, like focus on what we need to do and all the things we need to improve on.
Yeah.
But it's usually productive.
A lot of people I don't think understand that. When you go from like a lacrosse or a football, an outdoor sport in the winter, and then go into basketball or to hockey,
yes.
It's a whole different workout, and
yes.
your body reacts differently on the hard floor.
Totally like different shapes you need to get into. I think lacrosse definitely helped me get into like with my footwork and stuff
yeah.
and like get faster and not like over like play and not like underplay. So help with like my speed and my control a lot, but definitely different type. Like you're running on a field, now you're running on a court, like back and forth, different positions.
Right.
So it's different like adjustments.
Well, it's good that you're one of the people that are leading this team in addition to the senior captains and all. Who is there? We play obviously a lot of the South Shore League teams.
Right.
Is there any one or two teams in particular that you really want to beat? Who's the biggest rival in your mind?
Well, obviously Rockland. They're very, very strong. They have some really good players.
Yep.
EB was one of our biggest rivals, of course. Mr. Moore. They just had a really good game. So those are the two that I've always wanted to be. I don't know if we'll ever do it, but I hope to one day. So got 2 years to do it.
Well, that would be good. I mean, you know, as you said earlier, the coaches are really bringing up the younger crowds, the freshmen and the
Yes.
sophomore, really going to be ready for next year.
Right.
And here it comes. So you got a junior year to look forward to, a senior year to look forward to.
Yes.
How big is it to have fans in the stands for you?
I like the pressure. Our first game in Hull, there was like a big fan section, and I think it like impacted how we played just because it's like a lot of pressure and you want to kind of like make show. You want to like get points on the board. You don't want to be the losing team when there's a big crowd there.
Right.
So like having the pressure on you kind of like raises the standards.
So it kind of raises your game up
the
a little
nerves
bit more.
too,
Yeah,
for sure.
The nerves are there. Well, I mean, Green Wave Nation's always been really good about support. The
Yes.
boosters have been great with support.
Oh, yeah.
For anything that you guys need, and you guys really pay it back with, you know,
Yeah.
we see the energy and the effort that you guys put out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we appreciate what you guys do.
Yes.
Tell me now, as a student athlete, you're here at this unbelievable school building.
Yes.
I hate to put you on the spot, but what's your favorite subject in high school? Favorite teacher or teachers?
I would say I'm more of like an English art kind of person, like history, that side. I love Miss Tomlin and Miss Poirier. They're probably like my two favorite teachers. They're just like the best. Their classrooms are very like open, like good conversations, really fun classes.
So a good experience here at Abington High School for you.
Yes.
Well, we're very fortunate to have you here at Abington High School and also playing there. I'm looking forward to seeing a couple of games this season.
Yes.
If anyone at home wants to watch and follow the Green Wave basketball teams, boys and girls, you can go on www.arbiterlive.com and get all of the sports for all of the Green Wave teams. In fact, you can get any high school in Massachusetts on that. And it's a great way to kind of keep up to date, especially during the winter when sometimes the game changes, or because of snow and things like that. Or you can also follow the athletic director on Twitter at AbingtonAD. So try to get out there and see some of these games. You can also watch them right here in Abington, Cam, thanks to our crack staff. Mary, I want to wish you best of luck this season.
Thank you so
I'm really
much.
looking forward to seeing you guys and your friends, you know, shine this year.
Yes.
And, you know, we'll have another year of you next year, but this year we're going to go 100%. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
All righty.
I appreciate talking to you.
All right, we're going to be right back with two other stars of Green Wave Sports, some names and faces you might recognize in just a brief minute.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
All right, welcome back to The Buzz, everything that's happening in Green Wave Nation here at Abington High School. I am now very happy to invite two gentlemen onto the set with me to have a little brief discussion. I want to introduce to you Mr. Tommy Fanara and Mr. Eddie Reilly, two of the seniors that if you've paid any attention to Green Wave Sports in the last 2 or 3 years, those names are very familiar to you. These two are the leaders of some of the Green Wave Sports programs. Eddie, I'm going to start with you first. Obviously, you were the quarterback for the Abington Green Wave football team this past season. A fantastic season. You know, going to Gillette Stadium, being the league champion. Great season. At the beginning of the year, we didn't know what to expect out of this crew, but you guys really gelled and had just a wonderful season full of memories.
Yeah, I mean, early in the year, we couldn't run the ball for our lives. We kept winning, but we were throwing the ball a lot. And once we had to handle some adversity, I couldn't be more proud of the guys that, you know, handled it so well. That's what the turning point was. Everyone just started blocking for each other. No one cared who scored. No one cared who got the ball.
Yeah.
The big guys up front, Connor Pease, Jeff Buckley, John LaRosa, Aiden Powers, Shea McClellan, Adam Abibi. They gelled so well.
All of them, yeah.
Yeah. The running backs, Curtis Lucas Summers, Izzy Ricketson, Drew Donovan, Tommy Fanara, Mason Kilmaine, they all started blocking for each other. They would fight over who would get the block in the huddle instead of who gets the ball. And that was what flipped the season and let us make a magical run. You know,
I mean, honestly, I don't know if a lot of people at home recognize this, but this year you guys moved from the small school division in the South Shore League to the large school. You were the smallest of the large schools, and you were league champions, which is an incredible feat. And I thought the Middleborough football game this year was a turning point because, you know, everyone was nervous about Middleborough. They played really well last year against us. They played really well this year against us, but you upped them. You won at home, and I thought that was a game that everything gelled in. For the rest of the season, you were just a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I mean, that game was a blast, and it definitely was a turning point. I mean, that was definitely, you know, the week before we played East Bridgewater, who wasn't too great, but that was the week we really put it together running the ball, and we just had to put it together against a quality team in Middleborough, and once we beat them, we knew we could make a run. Like, that was the turning point where we knew we were a championship caliber team. And just a group of competitors we are, you know, we're not going to go into game ready to lose, you know, as no one should. So as soon as that ball was kicked off, we were ready to go, ready to win. And they just couldn't stop our offense, and our defense made some huge stops. I
got a question for both of you. This season also, a couple of highlights of the season involved your coach, Coach Jim Kelleher. Sure. He had 500 career game in his 48-year career. He hit the 300th victory, which is huge, you know. And then he even had the police department escort the teams to his house one night. I mean, talk a little bit about Coach Kelleher, what it was to play for Coach Kell.
It was unreal. I mean, I think that just shows who he is, that we're getting a police escort and tons of people from the town just going to his house to show that the support is there for him through that tough time.
Right.
He's one coach that I've never experienced like that. I mean, he'll be in your ear screaming at you, and then 2 seconds later he'll be asking you what you had for breakfast. It's just, he's one of a kind, and I'm extremely blessed to be coached by him for 4 years.
Eddie, I mean, you acted as a water boy for him years and years ago, and now you're here as a quarterback for him. Had to be kind of a cool experience as you grew up as a kid here at Abington.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite the realization that we both had. You know, it got brought up a few times, you know, just talking to each other during the season. Especially, you know, after the season, that was an emotional little goodbye, you know, end of an era, per se. But, you know, he's just been around me my whole life. And to have him as a coach, as a mentor, you know, there couldn't be a better guy to do it. I mean, I was at a basketball scrimmage a few weeks ago, and a coach from another town came up and just wanted to shake his hand because he just is that type of guy. You know, everyone loves him. You know, he is the heartbeat of this team, of this community, too. I mean, everyone knows who he is, and he loves being, you know, the face of Abington.
Well said. I think Coach Kelly is a legend, and if you've ever worked with him or coached or played for him or coached with him, he's a father figure to a lot of kids and just a leader, and he's always there. And I think when we had that 500th game celebration and we had his family and his alumni came, we were hoping to get 20 or 30 people there. I mean, there were dozens and dozens of people out there on the field that just wanted to come pay tribute to him. And Ed, you had a kind of a unique situation this year too, and I don't mind bringing it up. Your father, Ed Reilly, who's my brother, was your coach this year, and you had a brother, Michael, also on the sidelines. And I just thought it was kind of cool that the three of you there, especially at Gillette, you're all sharing that experience with your family in the stands and the fans in the stands. That's a memory you'll never forget.
Oh yeah, I mean, that was special. I mean, to get there too, it was quite unique because we would be game planning, you know, in my room before I go to sleep, and we'd go into games on Friday nights, and just a different dynamic because, you know, we both get emotional during the game, and we can both yell at each other, and it's over by the end of the game. Like, you know, he would trust me to go up to the line and make my own play calls, and whenever he caught something I knew he would see it, and I would trust it that it would go for a touchdown whenever he wanted to. And just seeing how well he works with the other coaches too, like Coach Pfeiffer upstairs with the headset on, Coach Daly, Coach Kell, Coach Kabongo. You know, they all work so well together, and I just hope that, you know, the younger guys looked up and bought into their system because it truly does work, and that was the difference for us as seniors.
Well, one of the things too is the senior leadership on the field, and one thing I kept hearing all season was this is the man who was one of the best leaders on this football team. During practice, on the games, whether you were standing on the sideline or out there in the field, Tommy, you have just been the guy that kind of is the glue that makes everything work. So kudos to you. I mean, and I'm hearing that from every single coach and some of the players, that your work ethic is something, you know, I've personally witnessed, and it's unsurpassed. And now you're taking that to the basketball season coming up.
Sure.
And you've got a pretty stacked basketball team. You got a lot of big competition coming up, don't get me wrong. But tell me about what you're expecting and hoping to see this basketball season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a fun one, no doubt. We got some big games ahead of us, especially this next 3-week stretch.
Yeah.
We have Middleborough tonight, who's probably the most talked about team in the league. OA Thursday, which is going to be huge for our former coach, Don Byron, who coached here, who passed away from cancer this summer. He also coached at OA. It's just going to be a great night. And then we go Randolph, Cohasset, missing somebody, but it's going to be a tough schedule. But with our guys coming back, myself, Antoine Graham Jr., who's going to be in the backcourt with me, we kind of get the offense going. We have the ball in our hands most of the time. But then we kick it to Shawn Leggett, who's kind of just, he's been going and he's getting better and better every day. And I'm looking forward to the season he has. But then we got our new guy who just came in, who's probably getting talked about a little bit, is Jeremiah.
Yep.
He's completely new to everything. He has no idea what was going on the first week, all these drills that we're calling out. He's like, I don't know what to do and everything. So I'm just trying to keep him involved, keep him going, keep him focused.
He's a big man, right? He's going to be a good addition.
I think he's like 6'4", 6'5", so he's kind of like he's going to be a big piece for us, absolutely.
Great.
And then just off the bench, we have a couple guys like Hunter Maxwell, who played great in our first game against East Bridgewater. Connor Pease is a sophomore who's also huge for our football team on the line. Mike Van, Jack Robbins. I mean, we got guys that can just play.
That guy Drew Donovan.
Drew Donovan. I couldn't even. How could I forget about that kid? I mean, he's a nut. You know what I mean? He's just that energy guy that you want. Football, basketball, he's everywhere.
Sounds to me like you guys are going to be a speed team this year.
We are definitely going to use.
Ball.
Absolutely, you'll see us running a lot, and that's what we want to use our advantage as, our athleticism, getting down the court, pushing the ball up, looking for our big man trail, and just kind of getting going and pushing the pace and being the aggressor.
Well, you're really deep in seniors this year.
Yeah.
You're really deep in seniors, and you got a big, strong JV program. And you mentioned one kid that we were talking about off camera, who's a sophomore, the youngest guy on the team, right? Connor Pease. Let's talk about Connor, what he's been doing as a sophomore, both in the football team, and then now in basketball, you're already seeing him starting to shine.
Yeah, I'll also mention a little basketball. Eddie can basketball. He doesn't say a word. Like, he'll never. He's just a worker, and I know Coach can't ask more for that than a kid just to go out there and play hard every play. He's never taken anything off. He asks questions when he doesn't know anything. It's just. Connor Pease he's going to be a big factor in the next couple of years for Abington High School.
In football, I mean, it goes under the radar for sure. He's one of the smartest tackles I've ever played with. I mean, there's not too many linemen that will, doubt me if I get if I tell them they're doing the wrong thing. But he knows what he's doing at all times. If I say the wrong thing, he'll correct me, which is unbelievable. I mean, him and Shea worked on the same side of the line, and it was amazing just to hear the conversations they have. Normally, just the senior would just tell the sophomore what he's doing, but it would go both ways, and that's why they work so well together. It's just high football IQ conversations that they're having, and I can't wait to see what he can do with the rest of the line because, him and Jeff are the only two coming back that are starting, and they both work so well together, and I can't wait what knowledge they can put into these younger guys.
It's true, a smart athlete sometimes is better than a fast athlete or whatever. But you guys have a great basketball coaching staff. I mean, this basketball program has been incredibly successful the last couple of years. And one of the things that they try to teach is, role playing. Everybody's got a role in the offense or a role in the defense. And that's something that you and I were talking about, how your guys buy into that. Right. And it plays really well for the Green Wave.
Absolutely, yeah. So first I want to talk about the coaches. They're the best I've ever had ever. One thing I noticed is that they work so well together. Coach Serino will, Coach Marquardt, here's the board. And it's never like they're arguing, oh, I want this play. It's they working together. Him and Coach Marquardt, they're unreal together. And then we have Coach Brown, who's the JV coach, who comes up with us whenever he can. Yeah. And he's just, for me personally, he's been very big in my life for basketball, just everything. Yeah. Coach Ty, he works a ton. I always give him crap for not coming to practice, but I mean, he's always
he's got a job, real life, right?
He's got a life, right? But he's always there getting because he's the big man. He gets our big man right, and he gets them working. And Coach Carey too. I just want to give a shout out to him. He's our freshman coach. He's there always. His face is always showing in our practice. He's keeping us going, keeping us motivated, and so our team just buying in. That's just the biggest part, buying in. Everybody's not going to put up 25 points a night. Right. And, we have our scores. We have, our rebounders, but then we're going to need that guy to come off, play 2 minutes, go get 3 steals and come off the game.
Right.
And that's just the biggest part about being a basketball team, is just buying in, getting your role, finding it, and that's kind of what's been going on the past couple weeks in practice, is just finding where we sit and who you are as a player and where you're going to be for the team.
I mean, it's huge. I mean, there is no I in team.
Absolutely.
There is in victory and win, but not in team. And I think you guys really exemplify that, and your coaching staff does. You can really, they're very inspirational, and I have the luxury of being at the scorer's table, being able to listen to some of the discussions, and it's a really good cohesive unit. The coaches themselves are a team, and they, as a team, are coaching you, much like we saw in football. So it's been very successful here at Abington High School. I'm sure other towns have it good too, but Green Wave Nation, I think right now we've got a good thing going. You guys are some of the leaders of that. Talk about a little bit, both in football and in basketball. We keep referring to Green Wave Nation, all of our fans out there who come to support you either by listening on the radio or coming to the games and just being there. The Boosters Club just trying to fund anything that we need to have happen. It's really palpable here in Abington.
Yeah, so like the boosters, couldn't thank them more. I mean, they are, behind the scenes are the reason for everything we do, and it's unbelievable just, all the support they give us, puts us in a position to succeed. But then this year, coming off COVID with no fans, it's been amazing to have all the support from all the community members coming out. And just want to shout out the student section for showing up this year. I've never seen it this big. I remember I was talking to some of the guys that play like hockey and guys that didn't play football. I was like, hey, we want to have a fun winter. Show to the football game, set the tone. And I want to shout out Ryan Tobin, Antoine Graham, Owen Haggerty, Steve Madden, Aiden O'Donnell, and all those guys for showing up and getting loud and made it fun for everyone to go to. All those theme nights, everyone showed up in their theme nights, tried to win.
I just want to chip in. I think we're down at Dennis Yarmouth, and we just hear like these cars coming in loud. We're like, dude, like, what is going on? And we see 7 Abington kids just walking in and being loud as could ever. I'm like, this is unreal. Like, coming out of Dennis Yarmouth for a game, not even playoffs, nothing, just a regular season game. It just shows a lot of who we are as a class, I think, and like our students and how we've came together, and just the culture we've been building here at Abington High.
You do have an outstanding senior class. I mean, and the junior class is great too, but just you guys have been through the dregs of COVID and had to deal with a lot of stuff, but you've also, kind of focused in on a lot of the positive things, and we've seen it, the community has seen it, how well you guys have done academically, how well you've done athletically, and just the kids who come out to support each other. I know you guys will go to the soccer games, during the football season, and you have a big crowd. You actually had a dedicated area during the football season for the students that was full every game, and they would travel. And I think we're looking forward to seeing that a lot in the basketball season.
Even the basketball, the first game, I think our bench behind us was packed with all of Abington kids. I was just like,
and it was an away game.
An away game,
right?
First game of the season, we got our fans being louder than East Bridgewater. It just shows a lot.
It does. It goes a long way. And reminder, in all high school indoor sports, so hockey and basketball, you must wear a mask 100% of the time for the safety of everybody who's in the gym and everybody who's playing. So please help us keep that as a policy that everyone follows, so that we can keep these games and keep the fans in the games. Because we know it wasn't that far too long ago where there weren't any fans in the stands. So we're trying to make sure that everybody stays safe and wear those masks and just kind of enjoy it. I want to bring up one thing. We talked about the boosters earlier. I mentioned how, Tommy, you're a very hard worker. Even in the off season, I would stop by Coach Serino's office here at the high school, and there's pretty much nobody in the school except for you are in the gym with a machine that the boosters bought a couple of years ago for basketball players to kind of practice, called the gun. Tell me what it is and why you use it so often.
I can't be more thankful that the boosters put that in the gym for us. It's a huge help. It's not only it throws passes to you, you can create drills off it. So basically the gun is a huge machine, the net goes up over the hoop. One, it works right on your arc, 100% for your shot, because you got to throw it over the net.
Yeah.
And when I first started using it as a freshman, sophomore, I hated it. I told Coach Serino, I was like, I don't like this thing, because every time I'd shoot it, I'd hit it off the net. Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, I hate it. But then as time goes, I matured, and I'm like, all right, it's going to fix my shot. Shoot higher, it goes in. So basically, that gun is, it can throw 3,000 balls back at it, during the day. It'll never shut off. You know what I mean? It keep going.
So it's like a big robotic machine, right?
Yeah,
It
it's
gets the rebound and then fires the ball back
fires
to you.
right out to you.
And it can move, right?
Right. It can go. I was going to say that it can go everywhere on the court. You can time it, how fast or how hard the throw is back to you.
Yeah.
It's really unreal to have, and it's been a huge help for me, especially this off season with COVID. You know, there was always limits of people in the gym and stuff.
Yeah.
And that thing just like became my best friend, just using it every day.
Well, it's paid dividends because you have been one of the all-stars in South Shore League basketball, and you know the girls team uses it, the boys team uses it. It's been great. Again, thanks to the boosters for that investment. These things pay off. You know, Green Wave hockey is starting off with a big season. I know you guys go to the hockey games when you have your off nights.
Sure.
It's always fun to kind of pay it back. You know, when the hockey kids come to the basketball games, the basketball guys go over to the hockey games. Really looking forward to a big senior year for you guys. We just had a great fall season, tremendously successful. Looking forward to a very exciting winter season, and who knows what we're going to talk about in the spring.
Oh, shout out Greenway Baseball.
That's right. You know, we got a big baseball team coming up. You guys went to the state championship last year in baseball. I mean, we're just very, very, very fortunate here at Abington High School with all the successes. I asked Mary Klein a question earlier. I want to ask you guys the same thing. You got a favorite class, a favorite subject, or a favorite teacher you want to shout out, just so people at home know a little bit more about who you are?
Miss Corbett, 6th period, wicked fun class every day.
What's the subject matter?
Environmental science. Yeah, great time.
Great.
Yep.
You got a favorite?
I like teachers. I mean, I love all the teachers. They're great people here.
Smart boy.
Specifically, got to shout out my guy, Mr. Scott.
Yeah.
Miss Gerhart. Those are two main teachers I got this year who I really appreciate.
Well, that's one of the things here, that we're not just athletes, we're student athletes. We have a great school facility here. We've got a great teaching staff, got a great coaching staff, but it's you guys who put the work in and your teammates, and we're just very proud of you. We're very happy to celebrate everything that you guys do and pick you up when you need a little pick-me-up. But I want to thank you for coming on the Buzz and sharing it with everyone at home. Maybe they get to know you a little bit better, and maybe we'll have you on again, or maybe wait till the spring and see what's going on in the baseball diamond. So Ed Reilly, Tommy Fanara, two guys you're going to hear a lot about as they finish out their senior years. Stay tuned, get involved, come out and watch these basketball games and hockey games. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with our athletic director, Peter Serino, who's going to give us a little bit of a forecast of what more we can expect for Green Wave Nation.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
And banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort.
to get to know each other,
on a deeper level.
Father,
cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
it's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together.
and discover
How accepting our differences
Can make us stronger.
We are back with more from The Buzz. It's our special pre-holiday taping, and right now I'm being joined by our athletic director, Peter Serino. Peter, welcome back to The Buzz. You had a very, very busy fall as an athletic director with so many teams and so many student athletes participating, and now you shift and didn't have a lot of downtime between seasons. Now we're moving into the winter season. You are the head basketball coach. But in addition to that, you're the athletic director overseeing, we have 4 or 5 sports now that we open up for the winter, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great fall, as you mentioned. It overlapped into the winter season, which presents its challenges, but it's a good challenge, a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So now our winter season is up and running. The kids are competing now, which is exciting. We have boys and girls basketball, ice hockey, indoor track, which is a newer program that we have. Wrestling, we're co-opted with Rockland. We have a number of students over there, and also our cheerleading team as well.
It's a very exciting time of year, when things get cold, people go indoors, but these teams are really kind of light up the town here, especially, basketball is obviously the most prominent because it's the big team sport that's going on. But as you mentioned, wrestling has a combined team with Rockland, so those guys are out there doing their own thing. Indoor track is amazing that they keep in shape, running. How do they do it?
Yeah, we've had a great start to the season for a number of sports, and indoor track in particular. They had a great first meet, a number of great individual performances, great team performance, in particular for the girls' side.
Yeah.
They did very well on their first day. And the fact that they were that prepared really speaks to the creativity of the coaching staff and the kids, where they were able to train indoors. We don't have our own indoor track facility, so they're running the hallways. They're going outside when the weather's a little bit nicer, and they're using our fitness center, which is a great resource to have. And it's really exciting to see that program utilize the space that we have in creative ways. They even, they high jump down at the old gym at the Frollo.
Really?
So there's a number of facilities that they're using, and credit to our coaching staff, Matt Campbell, Mike Casely, and Billy Casely, as well as Amanda Lane is helping out as a volunteer, and Sarah White, who's our strength and conditioning coach, who's worked a lot with them for creatively utilizing the space for over 60 kids, but in a safe manner, limiting the groupings and so forth. It's quite the task, but it was great to see it, kind of pay dividends in the first meet.
It is impressive how well organized the athletic department has been under your tutelage, obviously, but your coaching staffs in all these different sports have been tremendous, keeping the kids safe, but very productive. And just while I have you here, big basketball season coming up for you. You had a lot of talented athletes trying out for your varsity and JV teams. You got a very tough schedule ahead of you, but a lot of good feelings right now.
Yeah, we'll see. With the boys basketball team, we were a little bit behind due to the football team's success. We started about a week later. But I think in large part due to the success we've had recently, we have a lot of kids who want to participate, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But it also makes that first week really tough, where you have to cut about 20, 25 kids who want to be a part of something, but you just don't have the space. So having the football week and then the week where you're sifting through that, we're a little bit behind, but we're getting going, and we're excited. We have a lot of returning players, a lot of seniors on the team. We have a very challenging schedule this year with some of our non-league games and, the South Shore League. We're in the larger division this year, which is always one of the better, leagues around. So it's going to be challenging for sure, but, this group is excited and we're looking forward to seeing where they can go.
Well, we're heading into the holiday season where there are games home and away. How do people stay in touch? The best way to stay in touch about any sort of game schedules or changes to game schedules? We mentioned it earlier. It's Arbiter Live?
Yep, arbiterlive.com, and then if you search Abington High School, you can get all of our schedules there. That's the most recent, the most up-to-date. When a game is changed or postponed, it'll be updated on there. You can also follow on Twitter, Abington AD. Yep. That's a great spot. If there are last-minute changes, which of course happen with, whether it's weather or transportation or any issue that pops up, a game could be postponed last minute. So that's a great place to, check in as well.
Before we go, I know our viewers at home will be watching the show during different times, but there's an event that's coming up in a few days that I wanted to just mention that over at Oliver Ames. Abington High School basketball is going to go over and play at Oliver Ames for a special event. Can you just tell us a little bit about what's going on?
Yeah, so the longtime basketball coach at Abington High School, my coach when I played here a number of years ago, Don Byron. He fought a battle with cancer for a number of years and unfortunately passed away this past June. And after coaching at Abington for 13 years, he went over to Oliver Ames for 12. And he kind of built both programs and left a positive impact on both communities.
Yeah.
So over the summer, myself and Bill Matthews, the Oliver Ames AD, we talked and we said, what better way to pay tribute to him and recognize his contributions to the communities than to play a basketball game. He was a basketball lifer. He lived in the gym. He loved high school basketball. So we thought playing a game in his honor and his memory would be a great way to pay tribute to him. So we put that together. Hopefully a number of alumni will come back. We have a brief ceremony to, demonstrate to the family the impact that Coach had on both communities, and then hopefully just play a basketball game. And if you knew Coach Byron, any weeknight he could to get in the gym and watch a basketball game, that's where he was going to be. So we thought it would be a good place for people to gather and kind of pay tribute to him.
I think it's a great idea. Coaches for Cancer is what they're calling it. They're raising money for cancer efforts, and I think both Oliver Ames and the Abington basketball programs are very excited about this, and this won't be the last of it. This is just the first of it. So looking forward to that, but again, looking forward to a lot of things happening this winter with Abington Green Wave Sports. Tune in, get to a game, go see an Abington Green Wave hockey game, go see a girls basketball game. Cheerleading is going to be out there competing, and then of course you got the wrestling, indoor track, boys basketball. So don't be shy, come on by, be loud and proud in the stands. Want to wish you all happy holidays. Want to thank Mr. Serino for tuning in once again and giving us the update, and obviously our guests that appeared today, Eddie Reilly, Tommy Fanara, and Mary Klein. Happy holidays to everyone out there in Green Wave Nation. We will see you soon with another edition of The Buzz.